Well, hello to everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's doing well, having a super great weekend. I hope the weather is good where you are. I hope you haven't had to endure any of the bad storms that have been blowing through the country. My goodness, our prayers go out to all those who have had the tornadoes hit, the high winds, the bad rains. I hope everybody is doing good and safe from all of that. Goodness, excuse me. Let's say hello to Miss Rhonda. Hello, Bobby. How are you doing? Hi, Miss Kathy. Hey, Love Winds. Hi. Let's see, Lori. How are you? Who else we got up in here? We got TJ. We got YouTuber. Hello to you. Hello, Charlene. How are you doing? And R. Taylor. Brown Eyed Girls. Hello, hello, Southern Charm. How are you? Hi, Deanne Sanchez. How are you doing? Good to have you. Let's see here. Town Chat Cafe. How you doing? Hey, Tracy. Glad to have you here. Glad to have everybody. Hi, Debbie says what? Roxy R. Thank you all for being here. Let's see who else we got up in here. Hope Floats, hello to you. And Amanda Jane, how are you? Happy Gal Brenda. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to those who are listening in the bushes per se. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate everybody. Please make sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't and would like to become a subscriber to our channel, we would love to have you. All the good things, all the good things. Thank you all for being here. So we're going to get into this. I titled today's live Colorful Stories because it seems to be very colorful stories that we continue to hear over and over throughout the past, 15 months now. And they don't seem to be stopping. It blows my mind that people cannot just put away all the feelings, all the being butthurt or whatever, don't like somebody, don't like the way they look, all the good things. Can't put those aside at all to talk about Sebastian. I just seriously do not understand it. But when it comes to Sebastian's mother and stepfather, that's when we end up with multiple stories. Let's take the lie detector test. Have they or have they not taken a lie detector test? Because law enforcement has never said one way or the other way. Hey, Falker's dad. Welcome, welcome. But yet they insist they've taken a lie detector, a polygraph, And they have both passed with flying colors. Then we find out later that the stepfather never took a polygraph test. He was never tested as to whether he's lying or not lying. Yeah, that should be on the polygraph questions. What were they doing at Ford Pond in Oregon? Just less than a month after Sebastian went missing. And because of questions like that, you have to stop and think, March, wait a minute, he went missing the end of February, and here it is, the middle of March, and they're in Oregon. But yet they tell us he ran away. And it only took them a couple of weeks to go through with their vacation. But if you recall, we have the stepfather who says, law enforcement has pretty much told them that Sebastian is no longer with us. They're pretty sure of it, so they need to move on with life. Well, if law enforcement was so sure of that statement, why have they not come out and spoke that? Because here we are 15 months later still trying to figure out, is he or is he not with us any longer? Yeah, Brownout Girl, I think he does that quite often because that's when we get the most extravagant stories we hear from him. Oh my gosh. And the way he goes about telling us his version of everything that happened, although he's very adamant he was not there. I have never heard a person sit and argue as many times as he has in a case about a missing child. His stepson. It has never been confirmed, Sky Maiden. Never been confirmed. The only confirmation that we have about a polygraph being taken is Seth. And Nancy Grace is the one that confirmed he took it and he passed. They had been giving him medication and he went in to take his polygraph test, but the medication was making him so sleepy he couldn't quite stay awake. Trust me, I get that. A doctor put me on some medication just to calm my nerves down. I couldn't stay awake. Could not stay awake. And I'm talking, I reached across the bed one time, just leaned across the bed. It was a high bed, and I leaned across it to reach to get a swimsuit so I can go get in the pool with everybody else. And my best friend comes in and says, "What are you doing? We're waiting for you." I had fell asleep, stretched, leaned halfway across the bed. But that's what that medication did to me. So I get that. So when he changed his medication up, he went back in and took a polygraph test and he passed it. And the only thing that we've ever had confirmation with that is when Nancy Grace told everyone that Seth took it and he passed it. As for Katie, as for Mr. Chris, no, there has been no confirmation. Either one of them have gone in, taken a polygraph, and passed. But they want us to believe that is what has happened. We heard early on, and we're talking a year ago. So, we're talking 12 months ago, He tells us yesterday he took a polygraph and passed it. Both of them had. We later find out, nope, he has never taken one. So even if they come out and tell us, look, we both took them, we both passed them, I don't believe them. I am not sure. But that's how colorful their stories become. And, you know, yeah, everybody, if you're going to put anything in the comments that you assume or you feel or whatever, I understand, I get it, and I could care less about the, in my opinion, or allegedly thing, but for your protection, because of other channels who love to bring up the subscribers, the people in chat, those things in their opinions. Please put those, that way they can't say anything against you. So that is the only time or reason I would ever, because there's this word called common sense, that if you're going to put something in there about how you, what you think, I'm going to automatically assume that's your opinion. I mean, that's pretty obvious to 90% of the world, but then there is that 10%. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that is it, Tracy. They would much rather attack people, take them to court, all the things, trash them up one side, down the other side, and then turn around and dox every tiny piece of your life just because they want to. They don't have to have a reason. Hey, Legally Blind. Yes, I just got that. So yes. Yep. So after I'm through, I have the rest of the day off. Nothing going on today at all, guys. I even laid down. I took a nap. I had to take a pain pill today for my back. It was just about to kill me. I could hardly walk. And so I finally broke down and took one. It's not a very strong one, but I took what I had here and laid down, put the heating pad on my back, put my rub stuff on my back, and I took a nap. It was much needed, guys. So, yeah, we have all these different stories. My favorite is when Mr. Chris always tells us that he is not allowed to indulge on that because law enforcement has asked him not to. Folks, I'm here to tell you, if law enforcement tells you something and then they tell you not to say anything, it's probably because they shouldn't be opening their mouth to you at all. When it comes to an investigation of a missing child, the first person that is looked at, I do, Miss Rhonda, I have been using it like crazy. Yeah, he can't divulge because he's pervy. That's pretty much it. That sums it up right there. I mean, no questions asked. There you go. So, yeah. uh, oh, goodness. Yes, I've done the shots so many times that they really aren't even lasting 3 months, where I was lucky to make 1 week shy of a month. So we're talking only 3 weeks last time. They said they're not worth it anymore. But anyways, folks, the parents are looked at when a child goes missing. That's a given because they are the ones responsible for that child. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hope you're okay, Legally Blonde. That stinks. And hello to those coming in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate having y'all. We're going to listen to a couple of things here in just a minute, but I'm telling you guys, I've talked to my son about this because law enforcement is in his work history, and he also served in the military as well. A law enforcement officer is not to ever tell a parent something and say, do not disclose. Do they do it? Yes. Mr. Chris's friends may have disclosed more than they should have, and therefore lies part of the issues with Sebastian's case. That's my opinion. But, you know, to sit here and tell the world, everybody that's listening all over the nation, I mean, all over the whole country, everywhere, the whole earth that listens in from everywhere, that you took and passed a lie detector test, a polygraph test, made it as if it was from law enforcement. And later we find out you straight out lied to everybody. Because Nancy Grace did not let him play with words. I'm going to bet y'all she did her homework. She listened to him. She read right through that man and knew that he would play with words to make it sound one way without getting himself all tangled up. And she pushed. And of course, he didn't ever take a polygraph test. She was polite enough to say, if we set one up, would you take one? He said yes. Name the place and the time. Guess what, folks? We all know it. Anybody who doesn't, Nancy Grace set that up. She informed him of the place and the time. And Mr. Chris did not show up. They never heard from him. Nothing. So, to me, in my opinion, that speaks volumes. That man ain't never going to take a polygraph test because he would not be able to pass it. Whether Katie has taken one or not, I have no clue because no one has ever confirmed it. So I don't know if I believe Katie has taken one or not. Only because of the lies that have come from their mouths, the multiple colorful stories they have told when it comes to Sebastian being missing. What's the purpose? What is the purpose? Now, before I play this first clip, I want to ask y'all, most of you, I believe, that are in here have followed the Summer Wells case. And in the Summer Wells case, a little 5-year-old girl that went missing in 2021. It's coming up to 4 years very soon that she's been missing from her home barefooted, and that's something. However, I do feel like her father either has had something to do with it, arranged something to do with it, to do with her going missing, or has actually the knowledge of it happening. And he was asked one time about how he, what was his thoughts about what should happen to the person that has taken her. He hem-haws around because when it comes to jail, he doesn't like it, right? So he really wasn't sure because he doesn't wish jail time on anyone. It's hard to sit there when you know what has happened to your child and say, I hope they die in there. I hope they get in jail and every person in there makes everyday life a living hell for them. Most parents would say that person better hope he gets put in jail and not me finding him first. Those kind of statements. We're going to listen to something that Shay's Safe Place put out. I don't know if you've all heard it or not, but let me change our banner real quick here so that way we can have our copyright going. There we go. We're going to use this under fair use. And we're going to go and listen to this because it gets brought up. And you will be amazed at Mr. Chris's story as to what he feels should happen to the person that took Sebastian.
My hallelujah came. My hallelujah came and it went. Dead men walking, they don't pay the rent. Lend me some sugar, hand me that wine. Go tell the devil I've been walking the line.
Individually, what do you all think should happen is to the person if somebody abducted Sebastian?
That is not for us to determine. That is, if somebody has Sebastian, all I'm going to say is that is nothing that we want to be a part of until that is legal. That is law enforcement agency. That has nothing to do with us. We just
They go to jail, so I don't.
Mom's saying she better hope they go to jail. That has nothing to do with us. We just
They go to jail, so I don't.
Mom's saying she better hope they go to jail.
Well, I will say what I think should happen. I think that their ass needs to get passed around the jail like a goddamn honey bun.
Well, I trust me. I have my own personal opinions, but
All I have to say is they better pray they go to jail before I get my hands on them if I find out someone's hurting my baby.
All I'm going to say is we have.
I have a question for Katie. Does that go for Mr. Chris and his family as well? Is that how you feel? That they better go to jail before you can get your hands on them? Just asking for a friend, you know.
We have a legal system, and let them go through that aspect of it. In the end, karma has a name. It will come around and show its face.
It sure will. What I find interesting is that you're not really interested in justice for Sebastian. It's like you don't care one way or another. It has nothing to do with you. How could you say that? Wouldn't you want justice for Sebastian, Chris? To me, I don't get that at all. At all. The one thing that I would want would be for my baby to be found and for him to have justice.
So I thought that was let me get off of here real quick before it starts playing something else. Okay. I thought that was very, very interesting because her answer was just with no anger behind it. None. No anger in her tone. They just better go to jail before I get my hands on them. They hurt my baby. Chronicles of the Shady says, but notice he had strong opinions on what should have happened or what should happen to Brittany J and Bullhorn Betty. Exactly. Oh, yeah. But when it comes to the person who took Sebastian or harmed him, according to his mother, with no emotions behind it whatsoever. I'm sorry, folks, but that says a whole lot without them actually saying anything other than what they did. A parent has rage and anger when someone else hurts their child, when someone takes their child. It's there. It happens. You are the person to protect your child, being their parent. We don't hear that in her voice. And Mr. Chris leaves it all up to law enforcement. You know, karma does come back. Well, Mr. Chris, I hope you listen to your words because karma is a bitch. The day will come. How long that day will be is to be determined. But when you have a mother who is in the home with her child and admits that she was there in that home all night long with him, when there's light activity happening from her backyard, and that mother is not concerned about those lights because she wants us to think it's a trash truck. A mother who's home alone with her child is not concerned about lights activity happening in her own backyard. What the hell would a trash truck light do in your backyard? It doesn't even make sense, but that's how desperate they seem to be. That's what I take from that. But let's make sure. Well, Mima, you are always welcome to have your own opinion. And I would have to agree with that as well. Technically, she is the mother. Yes, he went to a creator to prove that it was a trash truck. Yes. Yes. And don't forget, it was so pitch black dark in that whole entire neighborhood. Right? So pitch black. But yet three, what am I saying? 12 months, 1 year later, they find a video of a man walking his dog from a Ring camera that was not very, very close. But you could see him walking his dog. You could tell. And Legally Blonde said people in hell want ice water, but it doesn't mean they're going to get some. Just saying. Yeah. But I honestly believe that investigator was doing what he was paid to do. I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. He has done everything to debunk anything that makes Katie and Chris look bad. I hope so too, Brown Eyed Girl. Hey, Scotty Too Hottie, we just mentioned you. Look, Brown Eyed Girl just said your name and poof, you appear. Welcome, welcome. Oh, no. The stories they come up with, the versions of explanations they have. Every time they put them out, it's debunked. Easily debunked. Because he took a lie detector test, passed it with flying colors. But then we find out he really didn't. What? Flying colors, he says. Yeah, new bed in the garage is very questionable. But of course, they got an answer for everything. They do. And we get jumped all over, made fun of because we question what they have to say. Now, come on. If you expect me to sit here and you expect me to hear a version of something so stupid, what the heck? What the heck? I'm not supposed to say a word? I'll tell you, folks, I'm very outspoken. I have learned how to give opinions without being a bitch. I can tell you my opinion and my thoughts, and I can do it respectfully. If someone says anything that is outlandish and I want to talk about it and call it out, there's a way I can do it. And then there's the hot-headed side of me where I can call it out and I can be a bitch about it. But I also have this knowledge of common sense. And when I see or hear something that stands out above and beyond anything within reason, I'm calling it out for what it is. So I'm going to play something and just listen, let y'all listen to it. This is put out by Allegedly Innocent. It's a video that she's done. And my goodness, she was spot on. Tell you what, let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up. I'm trying to remember if there was anything y'all should see in it or if it's just more or less the words that are important. But let me find it real quick. That way we can have it all covered. Because she did an amazing job. And, whoa, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. Got it. Let's pull this up. I want y'all to listen here. There is a song. Oh my gosh. Y'all have to listen very close because it's amazing. And I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, all of this that gets put out is only because of the colorful stories that they've told along the way that are so incredibly stupid. All righty, here we go, folks.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. Very, very bad language used. Okay. So here we go.
That bitch couldn't get fucked if she ran through a field of dicks backwards with her ass cheeks spread wide the fuck open. So you can play that shit for that bitch to hear.
Fucking staged, to be honest. I think it was absolutely fucking staged.
Why would you leave somebody up there who's talking dirty?
Well, and I mean, you know how it fucking is, right? Like she fed right into it.
Of course, they're talking about Brittany J letting somebody on her panel that talked very ugly. Make that make sense, guys. I mean, the colorful stories continue.
To it with a fucking a shun on people, right? Any other time she'd have lost her goddamn mind. Right. If somebody that called in and said that.
And why?
I think you really want to fucking know. She ain't had her fucking feelings crushed, but I'll do my minimum to fucking destroy her fucking feelings. Because quite honestly, that bitch needs to close her fucking mouth before she can stuff a whole goddamn turkey in it and choke on a fucking chicken leg on the way down. And hell, by doing it, she might actually do something good for her kids and her husband. So fuck that bitch. I'm sitting tired of listening to this fucking bitch run her mouth about me, my wife, my family, and anybody else out there. When that bitch she ain't fucking no angel. She ain't no goddamn perfect person. Fuck her.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I say, can Chris Proudfoot kiss his dick and suck his balls?
Okay, well, that's really graphic, and I would have wondered.
Now, don't forget, Mr. Chris has a soundboard that disguises his voice in many, many different ways. That was spoken about on his friend's channel over there on the other side of the street. And this is a man that calls in to Bullhorn Betty. Wonder what the name of this voice changer is.
I wonder why he would say such horrible things when he has a child missing. Can you answer that? Huh?
I have no idea. He just said that you look like you could suck a good old dick.
That's great. That's prioritizing. I gotta say that is prioritizing a missing 16-year-old child. Very, very, very smart. Very smart. It's sad.
Oh my God.
It is sad to think that this child had a stepfather like that associates with the likes of these people. And it's always got to be sexually motivated commentary. You know, sucking a baby's, you know what, right? Why in the world would any parent that has a missing child hang out with people like that?
They can't talk bad about Seth. They can't do it.
That's because Seth has never given us reason to. That would be why.
Legally, they cannot. If you think an
NDA has never been signed by myself. And trust me, folks, if Seth has said some of the most god-awful stupid stuff that Mr. Chris has, I'd be calling his ass out too.
NDA is worth anything, right? But legally, they can't talk bad about Seth. Even if they thought there was something off with him, they couldn't talk about it.
Actually, that's where everybody's wrong. If you have carnal knowledge,
thank you, Chris, for speaking up. Let's find Sebastian.
Acts, you can say fucking NDA all the way to a lawyer's office where you can make a report, and then they can just eat a fat baby's dick. And then they can just eat a fat baby's dick. And then they can just eat a fat baby's dick. And then they can just eat a fat baby's dick. Because guess what? The NDA don't mean shit.
Why would you leave somebody up there who's talking dirty?
Well, and I mean, you know how it fucking is, right?
I can't argue any of that.
And anybody that fucks with her can fuck off too.
I agree.
So sick and tired of listening to this fucking bitch.
Well, you've officially made my computer stall with the chat going wild.
Sorry, everybody. I apologize, but I'm just sick and tired of listening to this fucking bitch. Yeah, and I've said some shit about her before, and I don't give a fuck if she stood in front of my goddamn face. I'd say it right to her fucking face again.
Me too. With pleasure.
Now,
don't forget, this picture was taken while people who actually care about Sebastian being missing and wanting to be found, wanting him very hard to be found. They're at a vigil praying that Sebastian will be found for his safety and all that. His mother and his stepfather are at the Harley shop. Keep that in mind, folks. Don't forget this part.
I will say, is instead of her sitting here trying to grift and make money and shit, you should probably learn how to pay your fucking bill, like your fucking property tax bill that you still ain't fucking paid. Yeah, you want to go real life? I'll go real life, bitch. I done looked your ass up.
Well, she says that's okay. So, I mean, I'm just saying, she does say that. When it comes to Queen and her children and me and mine, it's okay.
Well, guess what? I can do it to her kid and the other 3 fucking kids that she ain't got control of. It's like, yeah, bitch, you want to dig into somebody's past, make damn sure that they don't play the game better than you. Make sure that
Sheriff Craddock, Bobby, Carter, Ray, I hope y'all are listening to your friend. The one that you allowed to drive around the very day Sebastian was reported missing in your car, having private conversations with him, letting him see where you've searched and where you haven't searched and what your plan of actions are. Those kind of things. I hope you're paying attention.
Sure that they don't find your fucking exes. They can get the dirt on you, bitch, and can spread it across God knows how far. Sometimes it's best you just shut the fuck up, pray your little prayers, grit your little fucking money, and move the fuck on instead of fuck out of everybody else's business.
I can't argue anything.
Can I get an amen?
There we go.
Amen. Can this bitch shut the fuck up? Hey, I don't know what name we gonna hope she does. Oh my God, she's a fake fucking Christian. Oh my God. Go to my fucking church, you fucking psycho bitch.
The fucking dogs in the background got me.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm sure I'm gonna catch hell for this, but I really don't give a fuck either.
Hell from who, though? That's the thing. From who? From who? The green team? The all magnificent at night media? Who fucking cares, man? Fuck y'all. Like, for real, fuck y'all. If y'all were serious, all of us would be sitting in the courtroom instead of just...
Well, guess what? And guess what? You fat ass home motherfucker. Got news for you. I still ain't got my goddamn papers that you're gonna sue me. Still ain't got them. You gonna sit here and tell me your reward's not fake? Well, then guess what, dog? Hey, bitch. You pussy. You said you were kicking in my door. My door still fucking stands and the opportunity's right there. Walk through it, motherfucker.
Why not? I don't know. Like, I think there's a difference, right? Like, when you're joking around and up on panels talking about spitting on pizza or wet dreams or delicacies and all this other weirdo shit, it all adds up to make people think, wow, this is weird. Now, it's been a few months. Hell, I mean, Chrissy even participates in Turtle Island. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this was in the fair early stages where it was crucial to get out information of Sebastian and keep it on Sebastian. It's been a while now. I don't think there's any harm in any parents, even if it was Seth, so long as appropriate, to get up on a panel and kind of relax a little bit.
You're not. Go fucking suck, start a shotgun, okay? Go fucking suck, start a shotgun, okay?
I sure as hell hope that Nina, the mother of Mr. Chris's daughter, has a copy of this to play for the judge. Because Mr. Chris, if you're listening, anyone that feels free enough to tell someone to go start a shotgun does not deserve to raise a child.
Go fucking suck, start a shotgun, okay? Go fucking suck, start a shotgun, okay? Enough is enough with you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yo, Christopher Proudfoot, short in his frame, but his tongue's like a blade, spitting venom and shame. Verbal assault, yeah, he's bad and extreme. Tearing down women, living life so obscene. Backhands a kid, got the streets in a rage. A stepson gone missing, just 15 years of age. Sebastian's name echoes where the truth in the silence, while Chris keeps suggesting he is dark and violent. Katie sits silent, meek by his side. Tries to speak up, but her voice gets denied. He cuts her off quick like a king on his throne. Her body slumps back, she's a ghost in their home. This man's got a darkness, a storm in his soul. Speaking sexual violence, losing all his control. Cluminati live, yeah, he crossed every line. Advocating for suicide, man, his heart's out of time. Proudfoot, what's the deal with your rage? Caging up hearts, keeping pain on the stage. Women and kids, yo, they caught in your snare. While the world's looking on, keeping Sebastian in prayer. Proudfoot, shadows fall where you tread. Missing steps on crime from the words that you said. From the mic to the streets, yo, the truth's gonna sing. Chris Proudfoot, gonna hear the handcuffs clink. Christopher Proudfoot, the spotlight's on you for the pain that you've caused and the things that you do.
Thank you to Allegedly Innocent for putting that out. Exactly, Scotty. Don Wells, I thought there was not going to ever be anything worse. Sabrina says my new jam. But yes, Mr. Chris makes Don Wells look not so bad. And I never, ever, ever in a million years would have guessed that could ever happen. Oh, how colorful of stories that he tells. Exactly, Chronicles. I'm going to tell you this. My best friend was standing in her garage while her husband was sitting in a chair, a lawn chair out there, and had been smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer. He had been having some very dark issues. He put a gun in his mouth. She turned her head away. He waited for her to turn back around. And then he pulled the trigger. Those words are very offensive. Whether you've ever had experience with that or not, that is not words that should ever, ever be spoken. But when you have a missing child, and we have found out that that missing child, there has been 6 counting the one that's still open, CPS cases by the man that says those words. Folks, can you just imagine the hell he lived in that home? And don't forget, they're not all against his stepfather. His mother did nothing to protect him and change that environment. And there were some against her as well. Keep that in mind. She sits quietly in the corner. Shady, my best friend's husband, was in the military, and there were 4 others within 2 weeks that had done the same thing that was in his unit. It's a real thing that happens, and it's very serious. And he uses it to tell someone he's never met in his entire life to do that very thing. Why does he feel that he is in a position to put harm onto someone, to entice someone to actually go and do that? Well, in my opinion, I'll tell you why I think he feels entitled. Because he has friends like Bobby, Carter, and Ray. He has a neighbor that lives behind him, don't forget, that is on the Hendersonville Reserve. He has a mommy that goes above and beyond to protect him. There's been times when she has actually had his record expunged so that he didn't look like a predator when it came to his own sisters. he has people around him, such as his wife, who coddles him, who wants to live that life that he's providing. He feels entitled because everyone around him has allowed that. Yes, Trishy, his own step brother, a Bowersox Jr., put those words out on Facebook and said he believes that Chris had done something to Sebastian, and he has his mother protecting him over it, just like she did when he did things to his sister, and she had his sisters, and she had his record expunged and cleared. So yeah, folks, he feels entitled. I honestly believe these colorful stories we hear are not through. We've not heard all of them. The big orange apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I love that YouTuber. Yes. Yeah, the neighbor behind them was also his wife's special friend. Allegedly. You know, the timing of all of this, we talked about it yesterday. They wanted him out. They wanted him gone to his dad because CPS charges had began. Things got better. They were okay with him. He was improving. He was doing well. Things started to take another downhill slide. They want to put him in a home. Seth thinks, okay, if he needs some extra help, let's make sure this happens, but let's do it correctly. So Seth reaches out to find someone to help provide respectable places for his son to possibly go to. He forwards that email to them. After Sebastian goes missing, which happens to be the day of Katie and Seth's divorce date, and just 2 weeks prior to Mr. Chris going to court for custody of his daughter, Sebastian's gone missing. Mr. Chris and Miss Katie make friends with people from the other side of the street. They give them that email. They give that email to them and say, this needs to be put out because it shows Seth was looking into homes. They did not bother to explain the whole story to everyone that was going to hear about it. You see, it was put out to make Seth look bad, when in all actuality, Seth was doing a good thing for his son because the home they had chosen had 6 children previously unalived in their home, in their facility. And Seth was not going to allow his child to go there. But none of that was told. It was put out to make Seth look bad. Part of that colorful stories that we continue to hear about. because there was too much pressure being put on Katie and Chris at that time. Here you go, folks. This is the bad person. He looked into facilities to send his child to. But just remember, they never put out the whole story, because the whole story would actually still continue to not look so well on Katie and Chris. Seth, remember, did not know about the CPS charges. You know, that's what happens when a mother and a stepfather say, well, his father has joint custody, but however, he's not involved in his life. That's how that works. That's how they play the game. So Seth hired a lawyer to get a copy of those. And when he was asked what were in those reports, he said, I don't think it goes along with YouTube standards. It was so bad that it could not be said on YouTube. But folks, of course, the other side and the way they work and how desperate they are, they had someone in place to get a copy of those CPS reports. And they've been passed around all over the place on the other side. They can talk about these reports and they say it's one report with 5 little things added in there. Well, Sebastian's father tells us, no, that is not correct. There are 5 different reports on 5 different dates. And there is a report that he cannot get because it is an active open case. That last CPS report that happened about a month prior to Sebastian going missing. The month that Mr. Chris says he was not there. He had not seen Sebastian since early February, when that CPS report, I believe, was January 28th. Yeah, just Jenna. I don't know if they've seen him or what, but of course they, you know, they want everybody to believe they've seen it. It's nothing. Seth is making it out to be more than it is. Of course. We expect nothing less from them. Exactly. That's it, Patty. Patty Lee says, how could they know what is in the reports and still laugh and talk to that creep? It's unreal. Unreal to me. One is too many. Yes, Napa Nat. I agree with that 100%. I give credit to Seth because we've heard him explode one time, and that was after his listening to Brittany J's attack that we just heard ourselves. And don't forget, folks, it has been 15 months since Sebastian has gone missing. And Katie has not spoken to Seth since the day he went missing and Seth walked into her home. No conversation has been had between the mother and the father. This picture tells 100,000 million stories in one. Katie's not going to talk to Seth because she could not lie to him, I believe. That's my opinion. Mr. Chris does not want Katie to speak at all because he's going to speak for her. He needs to protect his wife. Why does he need to protect her? If she woke up to find her son missing, what is there to protect her from? If there was nothing to it, her story was the exact same from day one, 15 months ago. Just like the daytime story has never changed for her. She is told the same exact story because that's what she lived. She actually went through those things in real life. It happened. But for her to make up a story after they get home from Texas Roadhouse, she can't keep her shit straight. And that's the most important part of the timeline. I agree, Scotty. Seth needs to put pressure on all kinds of people. Law enforcement needs to step up, is my opinion. Yes, they're out of town currently, and it's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is the biker rally. I'm pretty sure they're probably there because she has family not far from there, right? Yeah, Nana lives there. They were there last year. You know, same time. Their son had been missing just a couple of months. They had just gone to Oregon on the other side of the United States. And a short time later, they're at the biker rally over in the Carolinas, over there on the other coast. Hope floats. You don't want my opinion on that one, that's for sure. But they have a missing child, folks. Don't forget that part. It gets a little gray in there, but yes, they do have a missing child. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hope floats. Don't worry, that day's coming. I got a lot to say, but I'm going to hold my tongue and I'm going to be nice for a while. Hello to you, Justin. Give Remy some lolly loves. Folks, when in your life have you ever heard of a mother who just shortly after her child's missing leaves and goes to one side all the way across the United States to one side, comes home for a week or two and leaves and goes to the other side of the United States? He might be anywhere, right? Well, what if he was still close by? Not to worry though, because his mama left him a blanket, some shoes, and some snacks on the front porch. But I still have the question that looms in my head. Didn't he know the code to the door? Couldn't he have walked in and got it? With it being left on the front porch, I assumed that was one of two things, either for looks, to make her look like a good mommy, or they had changed the code to the door. That's my opinion. Yeah, you couldn't tear me away from the house. Exactly. I know Blue Eyes Jewel, who is one of my mods in chat today, she was searching, not searching, I would say more or less putting out flyers when she was over at the beach in the Carolinas there, and was told, oh yeah, I remember seeing her and several other women with her. They came into the beach bar to get drinks. That was just a few weeks after he had gone missing. It doesn't make sense. The more colorful their stories are, the harder it is to have faith in the fact that they had nothing to do with his disappearance. Yes, Chronicle says I would stay home for my dog if he was gone, let alone my child. Yes. Well, like I said, when Katie was out driving down the road looking for her child, as she drove down the road in 31 seconds, she didn't even have her window open, calling out for her child. Not while she went down the road and not when she came back. Neither time. At any time down that road, her windows were not seen down and she was not seen hollering out Sebastian's name. In my opinion, she knew he wasn't there and she wasn't going to waste her breath or her time to roll down windows. But when you lose a dog, you go riding around yelling your dog's name out your car window. Come on. It's obvious. People go to more lengths to look for their dog than Katie has for her own child. And there's proof. There's proof. I'm going to read to you a portion of the Dateline interview. Katie says she jumped in her car and began driving around the neighborhood. Folks, let me remind everybody, right? Let's just be reminded. There's two streets in their neighborhood, Kellen Drive and Stafford Court. This is going down Kellen, the street she doesn't live on, the one behind her house. At 6:32 in the morning. But she tells us she woke up and at 6:03 she's on the phone with her husband as she's getting in her car to go look for her child. So either her timeline's all effed up or she is straight out lying in this article. Because She's going down the road in her neighborhood at 6:30, not 6:03, right? But she says she jumped in her car, began driving around the neighborhood. She also called her husband, Chris, Sebastian's stepfather, who was out of town on a business trip at the time. It's like terror, Katie told Dateline. What happened? Where did he go? I was in my car and I stopped and I asked one of the ladies walking her dog, and she was like, no, I haven't seen him. And it really started to kick in at that point. Have y'all heard about Katie stopping while she's out driving around and talking to a lady walking a dog? Katie says she then headed to Sebastian's school and got on a three-way call with Chris in Sumner County. Now, folks, the call to Sumner County comes in around, what was it, 3:34? She's just driving around the neighborhood at that point. Okay? Timeline's not making sense here, folks. Not at all. Because as you can see here, 6:32 is when she's driving down her neighborhood. I was in my car. Okay. Katie says she then headed to Sebastian's school and got on a three-way call with Sumner County. By the time she got there, I'm assuming to his school, she was told to turn around and head back home because law enforcement was headed to their house. They were not at her home at that point. No one was at her home at that point from law enforcement. If she thought at any time her child might have walked to school barefooted without a coat or without his backpack, remember, wouldn't you think she would have hollered out for him, got out to see if the door was unlocked to the school, all the things that normal parents would do? She didn't. She turned around and went back home because law enforcement was coming. It's insane, folks. It was just like more and more people were coming and everyone was looking, and every time someone came back, they didn't have him. Katie couldn't finish her thoughts. Are y'all buying any of this? It blows my mind how the story keeps getting messed up, twisted around, out of order. I agree, Blue Eyes. I agree. She said, I don't understand. Oh, wait. Where's Blue Eyes? Blue Eyes said, I honestly think they forgot the shoes and didn't notice them until Seth said something about them. I agree. West End girl, let me tell you, I don't get it. I don't get it. All I can say is Kate and Chris better be glad they don't live in Texas. That's for daggum sure. Yeah, that's what I believe too, Blue Eyes. Texas Jane. I agree with that 100%. $10 that's when they realized, oh my God, Seth noticed his shoes are all right here. You know, but if Seth was such a bad, horrible father, like they tried to make us believe, he wouldn't know how many pairs of shoes those kids had. You know, it's not just something he would know because Sebastian didn't live with Seth. He would go to Seth and stay when Seth was off work. Yeah, men do not notice things like that normally. Agree, Hope Floats. You could ask my husband back in when our kids were small. He wouldn't have the first idea. Of course, he was off, driving a tugboat, so he wasn't always there. But yeah, no. I tell you what, Town Chat Cafe, I wish some of them would. I just do not understand how their stories continue to grow. They paint them as a picture, and yet they don't continue to tell the same story every single time. And they're still living their lives, having a hunky-dory time because they don't have no kids to worry about. I mean, come on. Oh, TJ, don't you know it, y'all? We should have planned a trip. We could have got a bunch of us to go there. Yeah, Blue Eye says, I really wish I went now. We heard yesterday where it was said it was Sebastian excited to go live with his dad, and Mr. Chris says, no. Knowing that Seth was on there, on the panel, and hearing exactly the words he said. He said he wasn't excited about the online school. He didn't want to go live with his dad. What child who has an opportunity to get out of a home where CPS continues to come to visit due to what's being done to that child? Why would he want to stay? Why would he not want to go to his father's where he can relax and be himself? None of that makes any sense to me whatsoever. I honestly 100% believe that was a jab at Seth because he was pissed at Seth. And all Seth wanted to do was sit down and have a conversation with Chris and Katie. But Katie wasn't going to talk to him. Mr. Chris made it very, very clear. You can talk to me. Katie don't have nothing to say to you. Mr. Chris should not even be part of that conversation. It should be Sebastian's mother and Sebastian's father making the decision as what to do next, where to go to next, what are we going to do, where could he be? But don't forget, Mr. Chris has to protect his wife. Folks, in my opinion, you don't need protecting when you tell the truth. No protection is needed when you're telling the truth. So yeah, the stories get more colorful as the days go on and the words come out of their mouths. 15 months is a long time to remember every word you said when you have scripted a story. They should have had it written down on a piece of paper so that they can refer to it as they're answering questions. That's right, Holly. 100%. The only one that needed protection was Sebastian. Oh, look here. Yep, I agree with this 100%. There is a lot of questions, and a lot of questions that I'm pretty sure Mr. Chris nor his wife will want to answer. A parent who is truly, deeply, 100% terrified for their child who's missing. That feeling never goes away. That urge to continue to look for your child, to fight anyone who gets in your way of searching for your child. It never stops. Only those who know exactly where their child is and knows it's useless to go out and search. Those are the ones that need protected the most. Oh, Fine Summer's Truth, you are so sweet, but don't you ever worry about it. Don't ever worry about that. We're just glad to have you here. Hey, Retha, how you doing? Oh, Alice in Wonderland at the ballet. Oh, that is amazing. I wonder what life would be like for Sebastian today had May finally come around and he moved in with his father. What I would give right now to never have had to talk about Sebastian. I say that because if he would have been able to move in with his father in May like the plan was, we wouldn't know who Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. I just would much rather that had happened, because that means he would be safe and he would be loved. And they want to tear us apart because we don't talk bad about Seth. Folks, there's nothing that needs to be said bad about Seth. And I may be crazy, but to me, this picture speaks volumes. When you see his eyes swollen from all the tears that he continues to cry after 15 months, and Katie's bright and shiny, happy little eyes. Oh, and that is the hard thing. soak up those memories as you go through those things, Ann, because each and everything of your sons holds memories. This picture to me says it all. Yeah. If y'all would say a prayer for Miss Ann, because that is a horribly hard thing to have to do. Pink Warrior, you crack me up. Y'all, that's funny. Okay, that's just funny. Oh my goodness. Miss Ann, we love you. We're praying for you. And somehow, some way, I do not understand how, but you will make it through it. And I know you don't feel that way. People used to tell me all the time, you know, it wasn't too long after losing Austin that, you know, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Don't, you know, you're a strong person. You're going to be able to do this. You got this. I wanted to punch people in the face. That's what I wanted to do. Don't tell me I'm going to be okay, because that day I was nowhere close to being okay. Guys, it's 5 years. And I'm still not all okay. And when people told me back then I would learn to live again, I would learn how to become okay and get back out and start living life. At that time, they told me that. Like I said, I wanted to punch some people in the nose, just punch them, because I didn't feel that would ever happen. I have learned to get back out and live, but I've had to learn how to live a different life. Everything's different. You have to learn who you now are, because you will never, ever be that same person. Oh, goodness, Miss Rhonda, I'm telling you, I have lost my parents, my stepfather, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, my sister. And those were bad enough. Just losing anyone that you care about. But when you talk about losing a child, folks, I'm here to tell you that that's a whole different realm of grief. Yes, TJ, I was the same way. I thought losing my mother was my best friend. You know, she was, I mean, I talked to her several times a day. How was I going to live without my mom? Folks, a child is a whole different level of grief. It's a whole different level of grief. And not knowing where your child is has got to be horrifying. And that's why I do not understand Katie going on vacations. Katie having her eyes look so bright and shiny. Not a bit swollen like Seth's. Because true grief, you don't control those tears. I'm telling you, folks, you can smell just a certain smell. And it takes you back to your child and you fall apart all over again. Definitely, people, everyone that's listening, please keep Lady Freedom in your prayers. She just posted that her baby has leukemia. That is a horrible, horrible thing. Oh, the pups are good. I had little Emmy on here yesterday. I even showed her sisters. She is so tiny compared to the other three. And they've learned to bark and make noises and growls. They're just so cute. Yes, please say a prayer for her. She needs it. That baby needs it. The doctors need prayers so that they can do the right treatment for that precious baby. Oh, it's her friend's daughter, Trishy. Okay. Whoever it is that has the leukemia needs prayers, guys, for that child. That baby, I just don't understand. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers matters, folks. He matters. Although his mother wants to remain quiet and sit quietly over there behind the scenes putting out fake crap, stuff that's really happened, but make it only pertain to Seth being a bad person. Putting out videos as hope. We have hope now because this could be Sebastian at 12:17 that night, that early morning time. But she don't stop to think. He would have been having to leave the home around the time she was putting the dogs in their crate, making sure all the doors were locked, and turning off all the lights. She would have heard him. If she heard a thud in his room, she would have heard him leaving the house, because he would have had to leave around that time to sneak through the very dark parts of that neighborhood and never be seen on camera until that one tiny little bitty second. But she don't think about that part. She's gonna do what little she can to cause confusion. Mr. Chris will come on here and he now feels privileged because his ego continues to be stroked. He has confidence in himself that he has gotten away with everything, every lie he's told. So let's just keep it going. And I'm going to attack a woman I've never met in my life. And all she has done is question what has happened in his stepson's missing case. So yeah, there are lots of questions as their stories continue to be so colorful. It is Lady Freedom's daughter. Thank you, Brown, for that confirmation. It is her daughter, guys. Oh, Jana just had her 6th great grandbaby. Congratulations. Oh no, let's see. Did I miss it? Let me go back and look. 4 years ago, I lost my newborn infant. Don't know. Oh, didn't even know you was pregnant. Bless your heart. I'm so sorry to hear that. Any type of grief is hard, but that child can literally rip your heart in half. I don't know what Katie does every day. I don't know how she acts every day. But I will tell you this. What we do know about Katie, her giving things to the other side, information that's going to make Sebastian's father look horrible without explaining the whole picture, because that would actually make them look horrible. That's not a mother who's grieving. That's a mother who's trying to protect her own ass. That is horrible. Oh my goodness, Devil's Queen. I could imagine. I don't know if y'all have ever realized or not, but every day I never take off my necklace. I put it on a long chain. It stays with me. Has my son's thumbprint on it and his diamond birthstone. I will never take it off. And when I have really bad times, when I have really bad days, I sit and hold that necklace and rub my finger across his thumbprint. My best friend's uncle took it not long after I had it. He saw me rubbing it. He said, "Let me see your necklace. I'm going to clean it." And I was like, "That's okay. It's okay. It's okay." He said, "No, let me see it. You're not leaving without it. I promise." He took it to the back and made a mold. He made another necklace because he said, "You're going to have that thumbprint rubbed down so smooth." This was offered through the funeral home. They took his thumbprint there and sent it to, and you know, he was always had those dirty hands, the stained hands from just piddling with his guitars and, you know, his amps and all those things and everything. And this necklace of his has that look to it as well. I will never take it off. And I don't wear it on the outside of my clothes very much. It's mostly just, it's just there. Yeah, I was very grateful that they did that because, you know, 5 years ago, I was surprised when they offered that. I was like, oh, God, yes. But it was a pretty penny to get. but it was well worth every bit of it. Yeah, exactly, Donna. I agree with you on that. Yeah, now I've heard about the ashes and everything. I've heard about that, and my best friend has one of her husband with his ashes in it. But this here, y'all, I look horrible, so y'all don't make fun of me, okay? I haven't had makeup on all week, hardly. But this is, I don't know if you can see it. That's his thumbprint. And you can see how it's kind of dirty looking. And that's exactly how his was. And it's about smooth now. TJ, stop laughing at me. Yeah, leaving the stuff on the porches. Yeah, that was all for show, in my opinion. You have those black skies? Yeah. He made some. I had him make one for my daughter-in-law, one for my daughter, and he put the thumbprint on knives for my ex-husband, for my son and my son-in-law. And they got those for Christmas that year. And so the extra one he's made for me will go to one of my granddaughters, and then the moms can pass on the other one to the other two granddaughters. And then I will be buried with this one. So. Oh, that's awesome. I'm too honest. I wish I would have took a lock of his hair. He had the best curls ever. Oh my gosh. And he would tell me how ladies would, like, he would go to the grocery store or something, go to pay gas or whatever, and women would always say, "Can I touch your hair? Is it as soft as it looks?" And he's like, "Yes." And I was like, "You're crazy." And I'm like, "No way. People aren't going to be touching on your hair." And he says, "Mama, I'm telling you." And we happened to have stopped by. We were doing something one day, and we stopped by Walmart and ran in real quick and picked, I don't remember what it was, but we were picking up something. And we're standing in line at Walmart, y'all. And the lady behind us says, "Son, is your hair as soft as it really looks?" And he says, "Yes, ma'am, it's very soft." And she said, "Would you mind if I just touched it?" I couldn't stop laughing. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. He wore it long. He loved the long hair. Oh, that's awesome, Devil's Queen. I had taken my grandbabies, when, you know how they do the footprint in the hospital. After each one of them, I took a picture of that footprint, got it on my phone, and I had taken it to my tattoo guy. He had shrunk it down very, very small. And I have tiny little footprints on the top of my foot for each of my grandbabies. So your sister would have admitted. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can take a picture and show y'all my foot. Let's see if this will work. I'm in a weird position here, stretching my foot out on top of a box. Let me see. Yeah, I'll show you this. But yeah, his hair too. Oh, Scotty, you're good, Scotty. We'll forgive you this one time. Brother, we got you. Don't worry. Hey, Sammy G, how you doing? Hope you are good. Okay, look, let me go in here and put this picture in. Y'all don't make fun of my foot either. People are so weird on good. Oh, okay, look, let me go in here and put this picture in. Hold on. Y'all don't make fun of my foot either. Somehow or another, it's playing my live. Okay, let's see. I went in on a different screen. Okay. You got the handprints. How sweet. Okay, y'all don't laugh. It's not the best picture. Like I said, I was stretched out and had my foot on the box. But those are my grandbaby's footprints, and they were from the hospital, what they got at the hospital right after they were born, and they shrunk them down so tiny. So, yeah, and the grandbabies, they love it because they each know which one's theirs. And when they were little, they thought that was so awesome. I got my foot on your foot, Lolly. You know, they were just all into that. Of course, my kids thought I was weird, but I love it. Oh, yeah. That's awesome, TJ. We'll have to do a thing one time. I love Blue eyes. You're going to be owing people money. That's funny. That is such a creepy thing. Why would people want to look at other people's feet? You got 2 for your son. Oh, that's sweet. I got the one my son put on, you know, when I did his, I was going through his room, sitting in his room, had his music playing, just crying my eyeballs out and looking through some stuff of his. And there was a spiral where he would do music, write down notes or song titles or, you know, just little pieces. And he had a whole song that he had written. And I started to read it. There was no title, but the first 2 lines said, "It will never be okay now that you've gone away." And so I took a picture of that. And that is, let's see if y'all can see it. That is right here. And that is his handwriting. It'll never be okay now that you've gone away. That's his handwriting. And one day, when I get enough money, I am getting a dragonfly on the top of my shoulder, because he had always told me, "Mama, you need to get a dragonfly tattoo." And I was like, why would I want to do what's, you know, I like them. They're pretty. And he says, because dragonflies represent change. And it's a sign that, as things change in your life, you're going to be okay. You know, he's told me that. And so one day I'm getting that dragonfly right above on my top of my shoulder. Yeah, change. And he said, that'll always remind you that you're going to be okay. And so, yeah, whenever I get the money, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'll be doing. Yeah, I have him several videos where he plays and he sings. And I did put out a video where he's playing his guitar. It's just the free bird. Him and my son, other son. Oh, looky here, Erna, Miss Erna, thank you. That is so sweet of you. Thank you for that. Let's play you a little happy song. Thank you so much. But yeah, I did put out a video. Y'all will have to look at that if you haven't already. He was amazing on the guitar. And that is just my two boys sitting there. I happened to come around the corner, grab my phone real quick, and started recording them. Proud mama, for sure. Yeah. Then Retha. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I had Skinner babies. That's what we said. Me and Greg would always say that. We had Skinner babies. We took them to a Leonard Skinner concert. And my kids knew every song that was played. They sang their hearts out. Hummingbirds is your thing? Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome, TJ. Yeah. They were really excited when they heard Three Doors Down would open for Leonard Skinner, of course, you know. But yeah, my kids love some Leonard Skinner. And now my grandbabies, they love it. And my grandbabies crack me up with some of the songs they'll play or start singing, and it's like, oh my gosh, I love it. Some of that old classic rock songs, you know. Oh, that's awesome, Holly. Yeah, you will learn to live with it. And I hate saying those words because I hated when people would tell me that, because I was like, no, you don't learn to live with this. This isn't supposed to be livable. But in time you do. Simple Man, that is my song for my boys. And when my oldest son got married, that was the song he chose for us to dance to. And let me tell you, after a long day in heels and we're out there on the floor, I never realized how long that song was. Oh my gosh. He said, Mama, this song's too slow. He said, I'm fixing to fall asleep right here. But yeah. Yeah, Brian Eyes, if you need to go, you go, sweetie. Take care of you. Get you some rest. You know, there's times where we all need just rest. We just need it. Our bodies can only endure so much. Even our minds are that way. You have to stop and just take care of you. A blue butterfly. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. Oh, yeah? Oh, that is awesome, Retha. I was always a big George Strait fan. Y'all gonna think I'm nuts. I saw him 42 times in concert. You know, that was before I had kids. He was just coming out, and I traveled all over to go see him. Had the best times. Yeah, Texas Plain Jane. I don't think you learn. You just learn to accept it. You get to a point where you just, things kind of shift. Oh, wow. A nice rear end. Yeah. Yeah. I got a picture of George Strait's butt. I was right up front against the stage, and oh my gosh. Yeah. Back when music was real. Yes, Kim. Yeah. You know, when I allow my mind to take over, some days that's the times mostly that I don't go live, because like I told y'all the other day, you know, I just had a day where it just wasn't my day. I couldn't stop thinking about everything happening in my life these days. And oh, wow. Wow. I'm gonna have to come let her tattoo guy. Ooh, Retha, yes. But yeah, I'll have to let her tattoo artist do some work. I love tattoos. Y'all would never guess how many tattoos I had on my body. And you can really only see just a few. I've got them all over the place. Almost? What are you doing? Did you have fun at your birthday party? Why is your hoodie on backwards? My granddaughter come up here and put her hoodie up, and she's got it on backwards. Oh, she pulled her hoodie up and took a nap. Oh. Hey, I'm too dangerous. How you doing? I did too. I'm too honest. I did too. I saw her in San Antonio, and I was young, and we met her out by her bus. Yes, he is. I could watch me some Sam Elliott all day, every day. Oh, of course, then there's Elvis. Definitely. You like rap? I don't like rap. And I'll tell you why. I can't keep up. I get lost too quick because my mind doesn't process that fast, I guess. I don't know, but I get lost in the wording trying to keep up with it all. So now my grandkids will listen to it all, you know, some of it. You don't like Elvis, I'm too honest. Oh. Well. Guys, I really had a good time on here today. He is just Jana. Awesome. I loved Landman. '90s rap was a thing. It was. That is amazing. I can't wait. Okay, I'll do that, Rhonda. I'll listen to that song. I think I've heard that though. Huh. I'll listen again. Oh, I loved Landman. Of course, you know, it's like filmed in West Texas, and it's a life that so many people I know have out there, you know, and my son's best friend he's in that oil rig business too, and my cousin's husband, and it's a thing here. I'm too dangerous. We can be friends. I'm everybody's friend. I'll be friends with anybody. I just don't put up with a lot of BS. I haven't watched Tulsa King yet. Do I need to watch it, Blue Eyes? Okay, let's get serious here. If we're going to talk serious business here, how many has seen Fire Country? Y'all, I watched that. Lord help me. I fell in love with Bodie. So I do need to watch it. Okay, I'll watch it for sure. But Fire Country, oh my God. Thank you, TJ. Yes, look at Blue Eyes is like, yes. We talk about Bodie quite a bit. Bodie is one fine specimen. Yes. I love me some classic country. When I go to the lake and my best friend and I go and we get on the golf cart and ride around, we got our little music going to some classic country. Oh, there ain't nothing like it. Bye, Lori. Thank you for being here, sweetie. Appreciate you. Yeah. I got the Sirius radio stuff, the XM, and classic vinyl, classic rewind, and the classic country. I love it. Those are my go-tos. And I got a Christian radio station on there too I like. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Sunset gazing, how you never really care for somebody, and then you realize later in life, oh, wait a minute, they are pretty good. Oh, Jimmy Buffett. You cannot go wrong with Jimmy Buffett. Especially some cheeseburger in paradise. Yeah. Grateful Dead. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what else I like? I like Glitch is a good show. It was filmed in Australia. I'll have to look for that too. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I liked something. I forgot. Oh, I like Zydeco. I love some Zydeco music. Yeah, I like his restaurant too. They had some pretty powerful pina coladas there too. Lord help us. Sons of Anarchy. Yes. I bet Gulf Shores would be it's on Netflix. Okay, I'm watching it. I'm going to watch it. Devil's Queen, thanks. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Years ago, like Jace is now, 13, my nephew, and his mama was pregnant but back then. So that's about how long it's been. Oh my gosh, Rhonda, how awesome. Yes. I watched SEAL Team just because of that. He was baby Bodie in there and he was still good. Yes. But we used to watch a show called True Blood on HBO. Every Sunday we'd come over, everybody come to the house, we'd cook, we'd swim, get out, and we'd watch True Blood episode. It's about vampires and werewolves and shapeshifters. Oh no, Charlene, be safe. We're supposed to get some this evening pretty bad. So I guess we're going to be getting what you're getting now. And anyway, so we were all into that show. Hadn't seen it or anything since. I had nothing really to watch. I was trying to look through stuff just to see what I could watch. I watched that whole thing again, and I was like, how in the heck were we so into that show? It was crazy to watch it now. Yeah, True Blood. Yes, some Louisiana Cajun. I love it. I have a CD that it was me and my husband and two of my friends went, and we went to New Orleans, and I was getting me a hoodie, and I told that lady, I love the music. And she said, I got the CD. It's right here. So I got it. I listen to it all the time. Yeah, it's kind of corny now, isn't it, Justin? It's pretty funny when you watch something like that, and then you go back and you're like, oh my gosh. But 5 o'clock somewhere. Yummy, yummy. There's a drink at Bubba Gump's in Galveston, and it is called a lava. I think it's called lava or something like that. It is amazing. Bloodline. Yes, I watched that. I watched it. I wish there was more series of it though, because there was only like 3 of them. Oh, that's awesome, Charlene. Well, everybody, I think, yeah. Oh, it's a pina colada and a strawberry daiquiri swirl mixed into it. I could drink those for days. Days. And there's a shop on the Strand down in Galveston where you can go into, and they have got a strawberry daiquiri that is yum, and you can get it and walk all around drinking your daiquiri. It was good. Good evening. I'm Too Honest. Thank you for being here, my friend. Love you bunches. Oh yeah. Yum. Ooh la la, she says. Sam Elliott. Yes, Miss Rhonda. Thank y'all all for being here today. You know, it's always nice to end it out with just chat, casual, because we talk so much serious stuff, and we all need to just kind of chill sometimes too. I have no idea. I haven't even watched it. My grandkids was watching it, but I haven't even watched it. So I don't know. Retha, love you so big. Thank you for being here. Well, I got little miss up here staring at me, waiting for me to get off of here. So I think she's wanting to go outside and throw some softballs. Wait a minute. Miss Kathy's favorite drink is liquid marijuana. What? Where is that found? What is beeping? Yo, that's my Roku remote. Why is it beeping? Wait. I don't know what's beeping, y'all. I don't know if it's my phone. Okay, that's insane. What is beeping? It's driving me bonkers. I lost. What is a liquid marijuana? Where do we get that? Y'all, there's a bomb somewhere. Can y'all hear the beeping? That's crazy. I don't know. It sounds like it's coming from everything, but then again, I can't figure it out. Maybe it is my phone. I did an update the other day. Who knows? That's what I thought it was, my Roku remote, but it's not. Let me see. I'm going to plug in my phone. We'll find out if it's my phone. Okay, I plugged it in and it's still beeping. I give up, y'all. Good night, everyone that's leaving. Thank y'all for all being there, being here with us today. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for the casual conversation, just hanging out. We may need to do this like on a late night show. Y'all, this is driving me bonkers. I have everything closed out on my phone. It is on the charger. I don't know what. I have no clue, y'all. No clue. I have my Bluetooth speaker turned off. It's crazy. Smoke detector. No, it's right here around me somewhere. On my little desk. I have no clue. Okay, guys. I'm going to get off of here. I listened to my phone, but it doesn't sound like it's from my phone. There's got to be something somewhere close. But I'm getting off of here, guys. Wait, my watch. It is my watch, I think. Yes. My stress level is up, maybe. I don't know. What is it? There's nothing. My battery's at 29%. Yeah, it's crazy. It's my watch, y'all. And there's nothing. I thought maybe my blood pressure was up, or like I threw my watch over to the side. Yep, that's what it was. I'm looking everywhere and I'm like, it's right here. It's right here somewhere. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, guys, thank you all for being here. I love you guys so much. I appreciate every one of y'all. Have a super great evening. I will be on tomorrow. I don't think anything's going on tomorrow, so I'm trying my best to be back tomorrow. So until then, everybody have a super great day. Remember, Sebastian is the one that's important. And you guys matter so much. Y'all are amazing. Love and hugs to everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.